So we can find perfect squares from the prime factors by looking for factor pairs. So if we prime factorize these numbers, 36 becomes, what's it going to be, 4 times 9. We can factor that into 2 times 2. So those are my prime factors. And 3 times 3. So those are my prime factors. So we can write this out in prime factorized form as 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. And the characteristics of perfect squares when we look at the prime factors is that the prime factors can be grouped into groups of 2 with no leftovers. So we have pairs of 2s, pairs of 3s with no leftover pairs. So with 144 we can do the same thing. Okay, this is going to be 9 times 16. We can make this into 3 times 3. Okay, this becomes 2 times 8, 2 times 4, and we get 2 times 2. So here we end up with 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. And we can see that they are perfect square. This is a perfect square number because we can group 2's into pairs, and we can group 3's into pairs, and there's no leftover factors. Okay, so any perfect square will follow this kind of property. So we can also show that 120 is not a perfect square by the same property. If I prime factorize 120, so let's prime factorize 120 here. Okay, so I end up with 3, 15, 15 does not divide by 2, 15 divides by 3 and 5. So I can show that 120 is equal to 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. And we cannot put this into groups of 2. Okay, we have a pair here, but we have a whole bunch of leftover pieces. So this is not a perfect square. It's close to perfect square. It's close to 121, which is a perfect square, but 120 is not a perfect square. Okay, and we can show that we can get 120 by all sorts of lengths and widths, but none that are going to be a perfect square. So I can do, the closest I can probably get is 10 times 12, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's going to give us 120 squares exactly. Okay, so this is 120 squares, but this is not going to be a perfect square because you can see that the edge lengths are not the same. The next one that we could maybe do is we can do 8 times 15, but clearly 8 times 15, if I do 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I do 8 by 15, okay, 5, 5, 10, 15. Clearly that is not a perfect square shape.